Hi beautiful, welcome back to another video. Let's get right into it. I'm going to use my cuticle pusher. We're going to push the cuticle back. This is going to lift any dead skin that might be attached to the natural nail. And then we're going to go in and clean up the cuticle area with this cuticle bit. I'm using my e-file at about, I think it's 5 RPM with this cuticle bit. It just works better for me. And then when I go in to etch with my sanding band, it is going to be at about 4 RPMs. All right, so we have just removed her old set. So I'm going to go through with the sanding band and I'm going to smooth everything out, etch the nail, and also touch up around the cuticle area, make sure there is no dead skin on her nail. This way I can start with a nice clean canvas. Make sure you are dusting away the debris. You don't want to get dust trapped under your nail tip with the nail glue. This just helps with the lifting between the natural nail and your tip, okay? So now we're going to go in with our tips and we're going to make sure that they fit sidewall to sidewall. So measure them really well and then use your glue. I prefer brush-on glue. I think it's just better. It applies better and you have a little bit more control. It is what I prefer, but you can always use the glue of your choice, of course.
Tengo contadas las horas, sos mi vida, eso es toda mi aurora. Lo que quiero es amor. Nada de compasión, no, no, no lo sé si tú sabes que te quiero pero no lo es, yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar, pero la inmadurez me la jugó, baby, eso no lo quería, no, 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 yeah, yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar, solo una oportunidad, luego me voy. Sería chimba demostrarte quién yo soy, bebé. Superaba lo que te hice a ti. Pasara me dijo la tristeza. Si hubiera replay cambiaría por ti. Porque te amo, baby. Es que el corazón no entiende por qué hace tanto dolor. Fueron errores que te marcan y cantarán a grito la canción. Qué pena que esto se volvió una condena. Eso no me frena, que fueras ajena,
I'm going to go in with a nail tip cutter and cut my tips. You can use scissors if you prefer scissors. I use them both. I actually use scissors more often. I know you guys have noticed that, but I went in with the tip cutter just because I felt like using the tip cutter today. But make sure you are measuring the tips against each other and then also against the tips from the other hand to make sure that all of your nails are the same length. All right, so I'm going in with this 80 grit file and I'm going to file off any excess tip off of her side wall and make sure it is parallel with her natural nail. And then I'm going to file the tip just a little bit. These are pre-shaped, so this is a really quick step. All right, your prep is really important. So I'm gonna go in and I dust the debris away and then I cleanse the nails with lint-free wipes. And then I go in and I dehydrate and then I go in with primer. These steps are really important for your acrylic application, okay? So I'm gonna go in with this primer and then I'm gonna go in and apply a very thin layer of clear acrylic. This is going to help protect her nail when we go to remove her nails, and it is also going to help with adhesion. I find that when you use a thin layer of clear acrylic, I do get less lifting. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but try it and see if it makes a difference, and let me know what you think. Right, so we're gonna go in with this color cover acrylic on all 10 nails, and let's get ready for application. You want to make sure that your brush is nice and saturated, and then you're going to let out some of the monomer and dip your brush at a 45-degree angle, and then you're going to place your bead and release it, and then you are going to work with your bead. You're going to angle your finger down. You want to keep your side walls clean by swiping them and keeping the acrylic in the middle of the nail. And you also want to make sure you are swiping your brush on your nail towel to make sure that it doesn't get sticky, okay? I'm going to go in and show you again. I show you this hand because I want you to see the exact ratio that works for me. So you're gonna go and place your bead, release it, and then swipe down. This is a really good ratio to work with, and it just makes your life a lot easier, and it's nice and buttery. So just make sure that you are working with your ratio, practicing at home, Even if it takes a few tries, or you're working on one hand and you didn't like the ratio you were using, then go to the next and figure out what works best for you, especially if you use different acrylics. They are not all created equal, so make sure you are practicing with your products. All right, now I'm going to go in with this 80 grit jumbo file. I'm going to clean up my side walls and make sure they're nice and smooth and straight, and my tips. And then I also file underneath the nail or underneath my side walls to make sure I get rid of any jagged edges or pieces that might have gotten stuck underneath during application. All right, so I'm going to go in, and this step for me is blending the acrylic to the natural nail up by the cuticle area and also removing any bulk acrylic. This is a safety bit, so it's really nice, especially if you're a beginner or a professional. It just helps with not cutting your client, okay? It's very smooth at the top, and you don't have to worry about going around and cutting your client's skin. All right, this is my perfecting step. I've shared this before. I like to go in with a 180 grit side and smooth everything out perfectly. This step is really important. Even if you use the bit to smooth out your acrylic, I feel like you don't really get that smooth finish unless you use a 180 grit hand file. Just for me, I love doing this step because, you know, I take pictures and I post it on Instagram, and it just really makes sure that my finish is nice and smooth, and it makes my nail art look smoother too. So I really love doing this step, and I highly recommend it, especially if you take pictures. Most importantly, you want to keep your clients happy. So make sure that you are taking a little bit extra time. I know that time is stressed when you're doing nails, but this takes like 10 minutes and you get such a nice crisp finish. I feel like it's worth it to me in the end, okay? So I'm going to do this step, and then once we're done with that, you can buff, and then you want to wash your hands, and then you're going to get into nail art.
Yo no sé si es que te quiero más. Cada vez más rápido se nos da, más fácil. Debe ser que tú tienes algo que encontrarnos tan fácil. Pero eso es que quiero más, más. Yo soy tu VIP, tu parte, porque tú a mí haces feliz, me queda presumir.
You can put a little bit of cuticle oil on her nails and buff them, and then have her go wash her hands. And now once she's done washing her hands, I'm using some isopropyl alcohol to get rid of any oils that might have been left behind, and this preps the nails for nail art. All right, so now we're going in with the nail art. This was an inspo pic that she showed me from Pinterest. We did do something similar with a white modern French from a previous video. We just changed the colors. I will list the colors down in the description box below just because I can't remember off the top of my head. And the brush I do get questions on sometimes. It is from Michael's from the art section. So if you are curious, you can find it at Michael's. I got the little nail art or the paint palette that you see on the bottom, the pink one from Zule's Nails. And I think that's it. My nail lamp, of course, is from Kiara Sky, and you want to make sure you are curing. You can cure between like every 3 nails. You can just flash cure. It's very helpful. It helps me out. Sometimes I I cut it out so you guys don't have to see every time I'm flash curing. But you can flash cure if you don't want the gel polish to pool onto your sides or anything. And I think that's it. Nail art is pretty much a visual learning experience. So I'm just gonna, you know, go so you guys can watch that. I hope you love this design. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Please subscribe if you love nails. I do upload weekly. I try to upload at least once a week, sometimes more. It depends. But I at least upload once a week, and I share my nail tutorials, my experience, what I've learned, and in the hopes to inspire you. So don't give up on learning. Trust the process, you guys. Trust the process. It gets better. It is not easy, but it gets better. And if you love nails, you're always going to find yourself coming back to them, okay? You will. Trust me. I did. I know you will. I just want to say I appreciate everyone that continues to just come back and watch my videos, to everyone that comments and just always continues to show support. You guys know who you are. I appreciate you so much. And even if you don't comment and you just watch my videos, you know, I appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot to me to be able to help in any way. I've said this before, whether it's from my mistakes or from my experience, it means so much to me and it helps me out a lot. So thank you guys so much. When I hit 100K, I am going to be doing a giveaway, so look out for that once I hit 100K. So subscribe. If you watch my videos and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the Lita family. And that's all I have to say, you guys. So I can't wait to see you guys on the next nail tutorial. Don't give up, y'all. Do not give up. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Contadas las horas, tú es mi vida, eso es toda mi aurora. Lo que quiero es amor, nada de compasión. No, no, no lo sé si tú sabes que te quiero pero no lo ves. pa' demostrarte